let's talk about some of the manifestation mistakes that you might be making that are keeping you from actually manifesting the goals and the vision and the desires that you have for your life. So if you are like me, you are used to being pretty successful in other areas. So maybe you have a degree or 2 degrees, you've had great jobs, you are used to excelling in a lot of different situations. And when you got into the field of manifestation, when you got excited about manifestation, you were drawn to it because manifestation is light, it's fun, it allows you to accomplish your goals without all of the stress and burnout and performance of mainstream success, right? Basically, you have success, but it typically has come through burning yourself out, overworking yourself, pretending to be someone you're not, being inauthentic, and you want to find a way to create success, to achieve your dreams, to create this beautiful vision that you have for your life, while also staying true to yourself, while also taking good care of yourself, while also living a holistic and balanced and full life. And so if that sounds like you, I'm going to talk you through 4 mistakes that you might be making that are hurting your manifestations. And all of these are specifically through the lens of you being this person, you being a high achiever who knows that you can be successful, but who wants to do it in a different way. And the first mistake that you're probably making is telling yourself that manifestation should be easy. Telling yourself that, I've done harder things than this. Why is this so hard? And really, there's 2 reasons why this is happening. The first reason is the world, society. We are told that manifestation is a shortcut. We're told that manifestation is easy and all you have to do is visualize your desires or write your affirmation a bunch of times, and then, the thing that you want will show up on your doorstep in a matter of minutes. That is just not true. That is marketing. That's something that people are telling you because they are trying to convince you that it's easy so that they can sell you something, literally. But the truth is, manifestation is a skill set. It's a skill set just like any other skill set. It's a way of looking at life. It requires you to believe new things. It requires you to let go of old habits and patterns, especially let go of old habits and patterns that have maybe gotten you success, but they didn't feel good. Letting go of that might feel emotionally risky. Letting go of that might feel challenging, especially if you are surrounded by people who are committed to the traditional path and who are used to doing things the traditional way. And so to make this clear, I'm actually going to tell you a story. I started my coaching business while I was a grad student at MIT, and I called my best friend and I told her that I was going to be starting this business and that I was going to be taking a leave of absence from my graduate program to start this business, and she literally thought that I was crazy. And a lot of people thought that I was crazy, but I knew that I was doing something that really mattered, and I knew that I couldn't wait around for other people to understand it in order to really bring this vision to life. And so this relates to manifestation because I had to have faith in something that I didn't yet see, even when other people were telling me that I was crazy and that I should just stay on the traditional path where I was already having success. And so manifestation is hard for different reasons. It's hard for emotional reasons. It's hard for spiritual reasons. It requires a lot of courage and bravery and faith, and those are muscles that you have to build. And so if you are walking into manifestation expecting that it's not going to be hard, that will do you a disservice and that will ultimately hurt your manifestations. So I would encourage you to look at manifestation as a skill, just as you would look at any other skill. In the beginning, you're going to be bad at it. In the beginning, it's not going to work out right away. In the beginning, you're going to have to go through a process of trial and error, and you're going to have to grow into it, and you're going to have to learn your way of doing it. And until you have figured out your way of doing it, don't expect it to be easy, really. And the reason that this hurts you is because when you expect it to be easy, you make yourself wrong for failing, even though failing in the beginning is very normal. And when I say in the beginning, I'm not really talking about time, because I know some of you listening to this are like, well, I've been working on manifestation for 5 years and it's still hard. What I really mean is when you are going for something new, something that you have not had before, something that feels very different from your current life, you are going to have to bridge that gap, and that's going to take effort, and you will fail. You will come up with ideas, try them, and they won't work. And then you're going to have to learn from that failure and use that failure as a lesson to decide what you're going to do differently next time, and you're going to have to go again. It really is an experiment. It's you learning, it's you growing. And looking at it that way is so much healthier, and it's going to be so much more effective than looking at it as this easy and effortless thing. And so the other reason why we beat ourselves up when manifestation is hard and we tell ourselves it should be easy is because as high achievers, we also just expect things to quote unquote come naturally to us. And that, again, it does us a disservice. We tell ourselves that by definition, we are good at things. We're good at things that are hard for other people. And the idea that there's something that you need to do that is hard for you could cause you to run for the hills because it contradicts your identity. It contradicts the way that you think about yourself. And so instead of thinking about yourself as someone who's just good at everything and who, things come naturally to me, think about yourself as someone who is resourceful, as someone who can figure this out, as someone who is really good at learning new things versus someone who knows everything already. Because if you walk into it expecting it to be easy and expecting it to quote unquote come naturally to you, you will quit. Like it will feel horrible and it will contradict your sense of identity, and you will run away from it because you only want to do things that correspond to your sense of identity, not things that contradict your sense of identity. And so that really is mistake number one, telling yourself it should be easy. And then inside of that mistake, beating yourself up when things are hard and making it mean that there's something wrong with you, making it mean that manifestation doesn't work, making it mean that you can't do it. Like, all of that is hurting your manifestations. And so notice if you're doing that and fix it. The next mistake that a lot of high achievers make with manifestation is trying to gauge how close they are to the manifestation, how close it is to coming. And so if you think about it, it's kind of like you're trying to get a sense of, is it almost here yet? Am I almost done? Has it almost happened? Or how far away is it? And you really want to stop doing this, because what you're really doing is you are trying to ration out your effort so that you don't feel like you're over investing in something that may or may not work. And so if you tell yourself it's almost happened, like it's almost done, it's almost here, the manifestation is right around the corner, then you will feel comfortable continuing to put effort in. But if you feel like it's far away, you will not feel comfortable continuing to show up and continuing to try and continuing to do what I said earlier of making mistakes and learning from those mistakes. Like, that will feel horrible for you because you are telling yourself, that you're basically going to have to be doing it endlessly. And so don't try to gauge how close the manifestation is. It will arrive when it arrives. It will arrive in the perfect time. But you need to decide who you're going to be until then. And you need to decide how you are going to treat yourself until then. And you need to really have a plan for, like, what does it look like for me to show up for this manifestation until it comes? And so that's where we get into balancing effort and burnout, right? You don't want to say, I am going to throw 150% at this manifestation because I think that'll make it happen faster. But you do want to say, I want to have a consistent flow. I want to create momentum around it. I want to show up for it. And this is what showing up for it looks like on a daily basis until the manifestation comes. And so that is the approach that I want you to take, is just being willing to look at this as an ongoing journey, trusting that it will happen when it happens. Don't try to figure out how close it is, but also really give yourself a clear understanding of, like, this is my commitment. This is what I'm going to do day in and day out until the manifestation comes to fruition. Okay. I had a little tech issue. One moment. But yeah, so that is what you want to do day in, day out until the manifestation comes to fruition, is really be honest with yourself. Like, this is my commitment. This is what I'm contributing. I'm not going to do more than that because I know that I'll just get up again tomorrow and keep going. So you don't need to burn yourself out. You don't need to drain yourself and tax yourself in any way. But you do need to be honest and give yourself space to say, I am committed to this, and I'm committed to this until it comes, and I don't need to spend time and energy trying to figure out how far away or how close it is. And then the last mistake that I'll talk about here is trying to convince yourself of whether or not your manifestation will ever happen. So there's like trying to figure out if your manifestation is close or far away, which is not helpful. But then there's also this question of, will it ever happen for me? And entertaining those ideas is a mistake. Usually we entertain those ideas coming from the place of, if I don't feel like I'm good at this, I'm going to stop. Again, because it contradicts your sense of identity to not be good at something. But what you really need to focus on is saying, I have decided that this will happen and I'm up for the journey. I'm up for doing it however long it takes. I'm up for transforming in whatever ways I need to transform. I'm up for failing as many times as I need to fail. But I'm not entertaining the discussion of, is it going to happen or is it not? Can I do this or can I not? Is it meant for me or is it not meant for me? It's meant for you because you want it. It's meant for you because you decided to have it. And that really is the long and the short of it, is you getting in your head about, do I really want to commit to this or not? Because when you start to say, oh, maybe it's not meant for me, maybe I can't have it, that's actually you saying, maybe I'm going to pull out my level of commitment. Maybe I'm going to divest my energy from this. And the only reason you would want to divest energy from it is because you don't think it's going to work. And the only reason you don't think it's going to work is because you don't yet have evidence for yourself that you can achieve something that is genuinely hard for you. Again, if school came easily to you, if corporate came easily to you, if you have been often in situations like maybe dating felt easy to you, like if you've been in situations where typically things do feel like they're just coming naturally and they're easy, there is a big adjustment that you need to make so that you can bring your bigger goals and bigger visions to life. And that gap is filled by you saying, I have decided I get to have this. I'm not wondering, I've decided. And because I know I get to have this, I am going to show up for however long it takes. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to keep figuring it out. And I'm not going to read into every failure and every mistake and make that mean that it doesn't get to work. Like, I'm going to know that it will work. But you have to be the one who knows that it will work. And so I said that was the last mistake, but one final thing that I'll share too is looking outside of yourself for the answers and trying to check and see if someone else will give you permission for your vision. And so that might be, I'll believe in this once I get my first client, or I'll believe in this once I have like a really good first date, or I'll believe in this when something happens outside of me. But you can't expect other people to give you permission to believe in your dreams. You have to believe in them without needing external validation. You have to believe in them the most. It can't be that other people don't believe and so now you don't believe anymore. You have to believe the most. You have to go first. You have to be the leader of this manifestation. And wavering within yourself on whether or not it's meant for you or whether or not you get to have it is just not a helpful framework, and it's going to stop you and hinder you and make everything so much harder for you. And so that was really the crux of what I wanted to talk about today. We ended up talking about 4 mistakes that high achievers make that are hindering your manifestations. I hope that this was helpful. I hope that this shed some light on some of the things that you've been experiencing. And if you want to solve these, if you know that this is the season of your life where you want to overcome these challenges, definitely apply for my private coaching package. So I have 1 spot available in a 3-month package. Applications are open until Tuesday, September 30th. You can DM me for the link. If you are listening to this on a podcast, you can find the link down below this video. I love you so much. I can't wait to read your application, and I am sending you a beautiful rest of your day, and we'll see each other again very soon. Take care.